Hi friends, this is DaintyTank. Thank you for joining me. Welcome back to TwoFold. This is part 3 in our series? 4? I forget. I count sometimes, but sometimes I don't, you know? It's like that, you know? Hi, I have more air this time, so yay! I can breathe. That's great. I'm not half dying. So, it's good to be back. It's good to see you all. I love you all. Welcome back. Last we left off, we had been adopted by the art group. My last class of the day passes in a blur. I don't think I can honestly say what the topic was about, but since it was just computer literacy, it probably didn't matter anyway. You have computer literacy? That's great. A lot of classes don't have that nowadays, and it's great to be taught a little bit of the customs of the internet because it's a whole different language. I could go on and on about this. It's an area of special interest for me. Duh. Diverting myself from my usual course towards the bike racks, I head towards the art building on the other side of campus. Oh, misclick. I try not to bump into the streams of people leaving or entering the campus, either escaping towards home or hurriedly rushing to their clubs, but it's a fruitless endeavor. It's been 2 weeks since the art club orientation/pizza party. Since then, the meetings have been even more scattershot than I had expected. Both times, Caprice either left early or rescheduled to the last minute for another day. In the end, it doesn't affect me too much since we trade notes in class. Still, my worst fears about the club being so casual are coming true, and as I make my way towards the next meeting, a feeling of dread hangs over me.
Hey.
Hey. Hello, Haley. Lost in my thoughts. Takes me a minute to register when Haley calls out to me from a few steps behind.
Oh, hi.
Unlike usual, Haley's headphones are already slung around her neck, like she was expecting me.
Off to the art club?
Kinda.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I'm not sure if it'll happen today or not. It probably won't, yeah.
Why? Oh.
Sorry to break the bad news. Man, I really picked the wrong club, huh?
Haley's expression shifts to something slightly more emotive. Disappointed.
No. Either choice has its own issues. The writing club is barely holding together too, since Darren left.
Darren left? Oh. Oh, again? Darren quitting isn't exactly a surprise considering the circumstances. Knowing him since high school helped to keep the atmosphere a bit more manageable overall. Being stuck between Heather and Millie is a pretty solid deal breaker. I look at Haley, who's giving me a non-committal shrug. She looks almost as downtrodden as I feel.
I joined to help keep the numbers up, but there's no helping the attitude of the other members.
Aww.
Look, I know it's probably weird coming from me, but if you could give the art club an honest try, it'd really help me out.
Oh, you're trying to help a roommate situation. I'm not following, and Haley doesn't seem to mind if I do or not.
Caprice is doing her best. She won't let you fail your semester. She's just got a lot going on lately.
I'll keep that in mind. What's going on exactly?
I shouldn't really be the one to tell you that.
Uh-oh. Great. Haley puts on her headphones, clearly ending the conversation, or at the very least putting an end to any more questions.
I gotta go. See you.
Bye. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong button, sorry.
Okay, but... And you're gone.
Great voice acting. Actually, I should click over here, that way I don't keep opening the history. Haley turns the corner out of sight, clearly in a rush to get somewhere. I rub my eyes, willing myself to not turn around and head home for the day. Whatever her reason, if Caprice is going to call off the club for today, I should at least show up to say I did. Yeah, that's true. Walking down the hall and up the stairs, I try to repress whatever feelings of anxiety remain. I'm out of options, and there's no going back on my decision. This is my best bet. For better or worse, I need to make the most of it. Before I reach the door, I can hear the muffled sounds of Caprice's energetic shouting. The people in the building really have to deal with this all the time, huh? I open the door as quietly as I can.
Experimentation! Let it flow through you! Let the medium speak to you!
I don't know. To me, Caprice is just pure joy. Like, look at that face. It's the face of a golden retriever who got into the treats.
Sounds suspiciously like a free study period.
Well, that's exactly what it is. You have to fly the nest sometime.
Oh my god. When I close the door, it closes with an audible click, loud enough to make Caprice's head turn like a cat who just spotted a mouse.
Olive! Welcome! You're late!
Caprice, thank you. Sorry.
Up at the front desk, art supplies are scattered all over the desk, everything from paint tubes to crowns to glitter glue.
Did I interrupt you?
Yes, with perfect timing, too. Come sit!
I'm good.
Whoa, what a cold response. Did you have a bad day?
Oh god.
I'm having a bad afternoon.
Per usual.
Huh? I thought it's been pretty nice so far.
An Eileen bad is an average Joe's great.
You're not wrong there. Allison giggles, and Eileen closes her eyes in possible mock frustration. Even if she is sincerely upset, it melts away instantly as Allison shuffles closer to her, muttering something about their dinner plans for later. Give it an honest try. Well, Haley, here goes nothing.
So, what's with the table? Something about a free period? I was actually hoping to review the lecture from last week.
Oh god. Oh, that face. A scary glint catches in Caprice's eyes as she pulls her hat down slightly, shadowing her face.
You walked right into my trap. Last week's lecture was all about artistic choices. Why does an artist choose dry media over wet? A 2D painting over a 3D sculpture?
Because one feels better than the other for them? That, maybe? They have access to one set of supplies and not the other? I don't know. Like the reason Bob Ross did wet painting is because he was stationed with the military and didn't have enough time to wait for each layer to dry first, so he learned how to do wet painting, which is wet on wet, which means that as you're painting on wet paint, so the colors kind of flux together and you have to paint differently. That's the reason he did it, not because of anything that was like a spur of like, I really want to do this. It's he didn't have time to let it dry. It's kind of what happens.
I'm not really understanding this second time around either.
A true Renaissance artist was experienced in many forms of art.
Each and every medium has unique capabilities.
Oh, I love you, Caprice.
The best thing to do to understand these artists is
Do the artists. Well, I mean, consent first. Putting her hands on her hips, Caprice looks at all of us like a captain at the helm of a ship, unwavering to the rocky waters ahead.
I have things to do today, so it's up to all of you to support each other. Mostly Olive.
What? You're leaving?
I know Haley told me to expect it, but it's hard not to be disappointed all the same. Caprice turns to me, bowing her head and lowering her voice to speak to me directly.
I'm really sorry. I'm not usually flaky. I just have some family stuff to do. It is really good practice, though. Try out a few things here and see how you feel. It'll give you some insight into the strengths and weaknesses of different forms. You've been drawing different cacti and plants, right? Try doing that, but in a way you haven't yet.
I'll give it a shot. I guess.
That's the spirit!
Caprice's phone buzzes in her pocket. She takes a moment to glance at the screen. Her face wavers slightly. And when she returns it to her place, her voice has lost just a bit of its excited edge.
Well, I'm off. Have a good Anytime, everyone. Wallace, would you mind locking up my stuff when you guys leave?
Sure. Take care.
See ya, Caprice.
Eileen has already turned to her own bag, obviously ignoring the prompt for today. She takes out tubes of paint and well-used brushes. Caprice gives 2 thumbs up and hops out of the room, taking out her phone and dialing as she goes. Oh dear. Too late. I realize I forgot to ask her about the notes she was going to lend me. I'll have to call her later and see if she'll be up to share them before the weekend. Yeah. With a sigh, it looks like I'll have to figure this out myself. I take a look at the supplies at the table, trying to figure out what exactly to try out.
Olive.
Uh-oh. Yeah? You're cute. It's so cute, Allison.
Hey, Allison.
I don't think I've heard my name so many times in one day, a weird thought that I push aside for now.
I know it seems like a lot, but it's a really fun segment. I remember it from last year. Caprice brought in what she could, but if you want to try sculpting, just let me know. I have some extra clay with me.
Oh, sure. Thanks for the offer.
Are you gonna come, buddy? Oh. Oh! Buddy! Sorry, I had to rescue a cat. Hi. This is Pixel. Hi. Oh, I know. Let me get my everything out of the way. Okay. Sorry. 1 sec. Hi. You can stay here. You just have to actually, like, put your butt down. Hold on. You're in my pocket. There you go. There you go. There you go. Good job. Good job. We did it. That was a struggle, but we got there. Alright. Okay, sure. Thanks for the offer. Allison gives me a reassuring smile. Without another word, likely to give me time to think, she takes her own supplies off of the table off to a table next to Eileen. That just leaves. As my eyes fall over to Wallace, he meets my gaze evenly. I notice he doesn't have a single thing with him in the way of art. Instead of his usual tablet and laptop combo, he's holding a notebook and a ballpoint pen.
I'm not drawing today, so I won't be much help.
Okay.
No worries. Do you have an art block or something?
Far from it.
He gestures to his notebook as if I'm supposed to glean some important information from just the cover. All it says is roughs and poor handwriting on the cover. What is that supposed to even mean?
I'm going to be planning out the next chapter of my comic.
Nice.
Without drawing?
I need to write it before I can draw it. I don't know if it'll count in your case, but it's pretty easy to do if you get in the headspace for it.
I see. Thanks.
Wallace steps away to a nearby table, opening his notebook and taking out a pack of index cards. Even for me, I can see the cards have a lot of writing on them. Something to reference as he goes, maybe? Well, the options are all there. Just have to pick one. Ooh. Try painting with Eileen. That sounds like danger. Sculpt alongside Allison? Probably. Draw? With Wallace? A total loss here. Painting is straightforward, at least. Sculpting is intimidating, but she's nice. He said he was writing, but... Okay. Saving. Boop. Boop. Okay. I don't want to go with Wallace. It's just not my thing. I either want to sculpt or I want to paint. I'm thinking... But you paint a cactus. Oh, you could sculpt a cactus. You could sculpt a cactus. Sculpt the cactus. Allison works on shaping a white ball of clay with her hands and somewhat hooked tool, scraping off bits and pieces here and there. As I approach, she looks up, a bright smile to greet me.
Hey, I thought I'd take you up on that offer.
That's great! Come sit. There's plenty to share.
As I sit, Allison moves over her supplies to the middle of the table between the assortment of bright bricks and small metal tools, she's printed out an article on beginner sculpting tips. You're both beginners, so that's actually a good piece there. So I'm glad about that. Allison hums to herself, seemingly content to work on her piece at her own pace, without any particular instructions. I grab a green brick and try mimicking her movements. Oh, there's green. Awesome.
How are you liking it? Your classes, I mean.
Yes. Talking. That happens. As she says that, I remember something vaguely about her having taken the class before. With that in mind, I feel no shame in being totally honest.
I wish it were as easy as it seemed on the flyer.
She laughs and nods along. Already the little form she is pulling and shaping starts looking like a small bird.
I know. At least you have Caprice as a tutor, huh? She's, well, like she said before, she wouldn't miss an art club meeting for the world.
Is everything okay?
She pauses, the tail of the bird falling off, its connection too thin.
I'm not really sure, to be honest. She doesn't really talk to us about it, but ever since her argument with her roommate began, she's been sort of out of it.
Oh.
To go from the best of friends to how they're acting now? I don't know what could have happened to cause such a rift so quickly.
You're talking about Millie, right? The writing club lead?
Mm-hmm. I've tried asking, but she just insists that everything is totally okie dokie and changes the subject.
Of course it's okie dokie.
If you find out anything, let me know. We're all pretty worried about her.
I'm a little surprised by how openly Allison shares her sentiments with me. A new person to the club, let alone how candidly she speaks. It's refreshing. Haley's cryptic advice from earlier still rings in my head, and hearing directly how someone feels is a relief. Oh, are you leaving me? All that hassle and I get left. I give a nod. In my hands, the clay has formed into a flat, leafy shape. Allison changes the subject, asking me about where I work and what my hobbies are to pass the time. Okay, do I not get to hear that info? That'd be great. Oh, 1 week later. I don't even get to see the sculpture. Aw.
Oh, look! A sea turtle!
Oh, must be an outing.
He's cute.
Aw. The two girls press their hands against the glass to look at the turtle in question, which the sign explicitly says not to do. He doesn't seem to mind, lazily swimming by. They appear to be the only ones among us excited to be here. Eileen and Wallace look half interested from a couple feet away. I think I'm in the same boat as them. It's not that I don't like looking at the wonders of the sea, just not now under these circumstances. I originally pegged Eileen's asinine field trips remark as one of her typical grumblings, but Caprice wasted no time validating her. When Caprice called me this morning to tell me we were going to an aquarium, I almost immediately refused. I'm still wondering if I should have. The last few art meetings alone have been more of a casual hangout than anything else. The last thing I feel like doing is hanging out when I could be studying. Still, it's about the only opportunity I've had to ever even speak to Caprice since I decided to join the club, so I figured I might as well go.
Hey, are you seeing this? Pay attention. This will be on the test later.
There's a test?
Test?
I perk up a little bit for the first time since we arrived. Something akin to hope swelling my chest. Is there a roundabout review of the last few courses we've had? You're thinking too deep.
There's no test.
The test!
Taking offense to Eileen's statement, Caprice peels her eyes away from the turtle, spinning dramatically to face us. I deflate a bit. Any chance of actually studying out the window?
Like always, the test is gonna be the stuff we make that comes afterward. I'm expecting you to come back fully inspired.
Fully inspired.
Field trips are never just about having fun, huh?
Oh. She simply waves him off, returning her attention back to the tank.
If you can't look at a creature in its natural habitat and become inspired to draw or paint, then you're a lost cause.
Oh.
These aren't their natural habitats.
They do what they can to emulate it.
It's close enough. Look at him swim.
She points again, this time to the turtle, who's making another round by the glass. He twirls as he spins past, eager to give us humans a show.
And not just him. This place is filled with life.
All of it beautiful.
At least one of you gets it. Let's head to the next exhibit.
Allison's being dragged along. That sounds great. She grabs Allison's arm and the two of them pull forward. The rest of us trail behind.
She gets this excited every time we come here.
Every time? So this is not the first time you've gone to the aquarium?
How often do you guys visit this place?
In the past year, 4 or 5 times, maybe.
Last time I came here, I was in elementary school.
And it already feels too soon, right?
As if to justify her distaste for the place, she shivers a bit. I thought it was odd for her to dress this warm for the occasion, but it actually looks like she could do with another layer or two.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with visiting as an adult. Once in a while.
Every few years, I could see. Doesn't the novelty wear off after so many times?
Not for her.
By the time we've caught up with the two, they've stopped at another tank to watch more fish swim by. Caprice points to this and that as the little things swim by, rattling off facts as they go. Caprice... words. Allison seems to be keeping up with Caprice's pace well enough.
Plankton mostly.
Oh, okay. Plankton mostly, so that must be whales.
Right.
It's, there's a word for it.
Both of them close their eyes as if straining to think of whatever they're thinking about.
There you are. You should have told me where to meet.
Who?
Mom!
Mom. It's Caprice's mom. She rushes to hug the woman who approached us. The uniform she's wearing matches the other aquarium employees we've seen dotted around the place thus far. Ah! By the rest of her appearance, she's definitely related to Caprice. Were it not for the shout, I might have guessed her for an older sister or maybe aunt.
Hey, here for club work?
Yep.
She looks at each of us but lingers on me with a polite smile. I'm guessing I'm the only one she doesn't know yet.
Oh, right, Mom. This is Olive. They're our newest member.
Nice to finally meet you, Olive.
Oh dear, finally. So I must have been talked about, huh? Finally, I glance over to Caprice, who smiles back at me like nothing is amiss with that statement. She extends her hand to shake, so I grasp it. Her handshake is gentler than I would have assumed for someone related to Caprice. In the back of my mind, I remember all the times Caprice has dipped out citing family affairs. Her mom looks perfectly healthy, though, which is a relief.
I'm Charlotte, but you can call me Charlie. Caprice's mom, as you may have gathered by now.
Charlie, I don't think I'll ever be comfortable calling a peer's mom by her given name, let alone a nickname. Why? Why? Just do.
So, hey, you guys looking for inspiration?
Yeah, guys looking for some inspiration. You sound like an aquarium drug dealer. You want some turtles? How about some sea otters?
Yeah.
Allison's like, yes, give me the aquarium.
That's the excuse.
Great, check this out.
Great, I have just the thing for you. She plays the part of a tour guide while guiding us to a nearby tank, each of us following behind with various levels of eagerness. As Caprice and Allison fawn over the various fish, Charlie narrows her eyes, looking for a specific creature. Eventually, she seems to spot her prize, pointing towards a small pile of rubble.
He's kinda hiding, but look at that guy there. We got him in recently.
We all move closer to see the creature poking from behind the aquarium rocks. Oh my god, the effect of looking through the aquarium at our group. That's so good. I love it. Oh my god. Oh, I love that effect. We all move closer to see the creature poking from behind the aquarium rocks.
That's a wolf eel.
A wolf eel. They're so big.
He's pretty ugly. Sorta looks like this guy.
Oh. She grins at Wallace, who responds with an exaggerated scowl.
Hey, the eel is trying his best.
Thank you, Allison.
Glad to see I have so many people in my corner.
The conversation doesn't even seem to register to Caprice, as she keeps the entirety of her folks trained entirely on the timid creature.
He's cool!
He is ugly, though.
Totally.
He is totally ugly, but he is cool.
He's also not really an eel.
What? He looks like one. What makes him not one?
Rather than turn to Charlie, Caprice leans further into the glass, trying to dissect the not actually an eel with her eyes.
Something to do with gills, or... you're gonna have to be the one to tell me all that stuff.
You're gonna have to be the one to tell me.
Oh, wait, I see. He has little fins behind his head.
No one else reacts, but Caprice looks extremely pleased with herself as she stands up straight.
You know, like a fish. He's a really long fish.
Are eels not fish? Rather than show off how ignorant I am about the classification of marine life, I'm more interested in how Caprice knew that in the first place.
Are you studying this stuff alongside art?
Both Caprice and her mom turn to me in response with Caprice. While Caprice looks a bit confused at my question, Charlie is beaming.
She didn't say. Caprice here is gonna be a marine biologist.
She pats her daughter's shoulder with pride. Caprice looks a bit sheepish.
It's what I plan on studying in university anyway.
Aw. These two seem to get along well.
Like mother like daughter, or?
No, she's smarter than me. I just memorize scripts and whatnot. Though you can't work here long without learning some stuff.
I'm more about marine mammals, though. We should go see the otters next.
I was about to say, is it otters? Because you definitely feel like an otters girl.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it.
You might want to wait. Feeding time's coming up soon.
Speaking of feeding time, if we're gonna be waiting anyway, we may as well grab something to eat.
I'm on my lunch break. We can all go together.
Sounds good. Alright, we're going. The aquarium has a little sea-themed cafe, more of a cafeteria than a restaurant. The menu items have various aquatic names to mask the fact that it's all bog standard food? What's bog standard food? Cafe of the day. Cafe of the deep. I stand next to Caprice as we serve ourselves at the tiny salad bar. Or rather, for the first time since we arrived, Caprice has slowed down. Specifically stand next to me, it seems.
Hey!
Uh-oh. She speaks in a sharp whisper, like she's telling me a secret.
How are you enjoying it so far?
Enjoying what? The aquarium?
Yes? She nods earnestly, glancing back at our group a few paces ahead of us.
It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best!
Best.
But, I wanted to make sure you're actually having a good time. I know I haven't been the most reliable person to you lately.
She smiles a bit distantly. I guess my reluctance to enjoy the field trip has shown more than I thought. Or she's better at reading people than she lets on.
I mean, it hasn't been all bad. The club has been perfect for catching up on the practical assignments, but I would really appreciate any help with the exam portion too.
Absolutely! Our next meeting will be extra crunchy. You'll see!
Extra?
Anyway, I really appreciate you giving it your all, including coming here. I have to beg Eileen and Wallace to tag along for these sometimes.
She laughs a bit, despite the fact that it doesn't really sound like a joke. Still, I give her a smile in return. We finish piling our salads and find our seats at Charlie's table, with the other three in our party off at another quietly chatting amongst themselves.
So, Olive, have you ever been here before?
Like elementary school.
Kind of. Like I told Eileen earlier, the last time I was here was in elementary school.
There you go.
Caprice loved this place as a kid. Couldn't get enough.
Oh dear. More than now? More than 4 to 5 times a year?
She would drag me here. There was nothing I could do.
Yeah, right. You begged me to come.
No, I had no choice.
Given her enthusiastic invitation this morning, it's hard to buy Caprice's case here.
I couldn't just leave you at home. You did love it, though.
It's alright, I guess. A solid 7. Maybe an 8 when the winter decorations are up.
She's not fooling anyone, not even herself. In fact, she's willing to quietly admit with a smile. The way these two effortlessly bounce off each other is something to be admired, and I can't help but match hers and Charlie's grins, albeit considerably smaller. There's a question that eventually creeps into my mind that causes my smile to waver a bit, but if it's anything like my own situation, I might get awkward were I to ask.
There wasn't always someone around to watch her for me, so I'd take her to work sometimes. This place was pretty accommodating, thankfully.
Oh, good. She answered my questions without the need to bring it up myself. Charlie's demeanor remains unchanged, so at least it doesn't seem like there's too much of a sore spot.
I get that. My mom had to bring me into work now and then, too.
I guess our family lives weren't super different growing up. A small, vague feeling of melancholy flickers in me for a moment, though I don't know whether it's for myself or Caprice.
If it wasn't Mom bringing me in for work, it was Grandpa driving me up here just to visit. I was raised by the sea.
She tilts her head slightly, bringing the back of her left hand up to her forehead in a dramatic fashion.
And this junky cafe food.
She frowns for a moment as she stirs a small bowl of soup in front of her. Between that and the salads Caprice and I opted for, we end up getting the most sophisticated items on the menu, which says altogether way too much about the meal selection here.
Things are changing now, though. How's Mike?
Who's Mike?
He's fine, thank you. How's Millie? Have you tried talking to her again?
Oh.
So anyway, when's otter time?
Something that looks like genuine disappointment finally makes its way to Charlie's face. Doesn't really suit her after seeing her smile non-stop since I met her.
Caprice.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Mom. Things will work out fine, I'm sure.
You should talk to her.
I sure hope so. I wouldn't want to...
Mom, really? It'll be okay.
Oh, the conversations go like this for the rest of lunch. The other club members occasionally chime in from a table away when prompted. They seem to be pretty familiar with Caprice's MO. Charlie, talking as if they're old friends. Though we had pretty similar upbringings, I couldn't imagine bickering with my mom so much, even if it's all in jest. Although it's different than I'm used to, it's still a relationship I can understand. There's a closeness when all you have is each other. Caprice mentioned a grandpa, and I'm pretty sure other friends and family members came in and out throughout her life, but her core family was her and her mom. I know what that's like. That's true. When it's just two of you, you hold on to each other as best you can. Aww. Before long, Charlie declares it's almost feeding time, so we make our way to the otter exhibit. Can we see otters? Please make guests see otters. Please don't skip the otters. Yes! She's the one who directs the crowd to watch, explaining as the handler feeds the critters.
25% of their body weight a day! Wow!
Wow. When she's giving this speech, her voice is loud and cheerful. I can definitely see where Caprice gets it from. Otters really are cute little things. Even Eileen and Wallace seem interested, while Allison looks like she's about to cry from their cuteness, clutching her mouth. And Caprice... Oh, the Allison and Eileen in the corner is so cute.
Olive, look! Ollie the otter! Maybe it's short for Olive, too.
Ollie the otter. She laughs, apparently finding this amusing. I show her the grimace she probably expects, and she laughs more. Caprice gets excited about everything, it seems. Yet, I feel like today, I'm seeing her watch something she really, truly loves.
Don't forget, when we get back, we're drawing otters. Or wolfiels.
Or wolfiels. Your choice. Not that she doesn't love art, of course. They're so cute. A few days later. Oh dear. I think this is a good time for me to stop and pause for a bit. We've gotten to meet Charlie, we got to go to the aquarium, we got to see the otters, because that's what matters. With that, I'm gonna leave this here. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye!